Hello, good morning. My name is Victor Oguinka, and we are here again for today in the news. Exciting package. We have this beautiful Tuesday morning. All of the news, sports, health, current affairs, and developing stories as we do it. Of course, that's how we keep it all locked in. We enjoy you to be part of this conversation this morning. Okay, for a very very wonderful time. And I have with me, my colleague with me here today, Precious Chukwudi. It's good to have you here, Precious.
Yeah, it's good to be here for the morning show, and this is today in the news, of course. And here we talk about interesting stories, and on the front pages of the newspaper, and also analyze some of these stories as well.
All right, very quickly, Precious, let us just go to the dailies and look at what we have everywhere around. We have Vanguard, we have Punch, we have This Day, we have Daily Trust, and The Nation. Let's go with yours truly, Vanguard, and with the major headline: 30 killed, 18 vehicles, houses burnt in fresh Boko Haram attack. And you can see the various riders on that one. Only 10, not 30 killed. Theater Commander Operation Lafayette Doe, and Governor Zulum asked military to move checkpoints. Buhari, I'll continue to frustrate Boko Haram, and the Reds fault military on our no carnage. All of the package on page 5 of the Vanguard. 30 killed, 18 vehicles, houses burnt in fresh Boko Haram attack. Okay, from there we'll move away to page 11 at the top right corner, where we have Amotekun bill becomes law February 14. You can see that one plated red, and of course what a day to launch that bill, Valentine's Day. And that is what it is. Amotekun bill becomes law February 14. Yes. And away from page 11 now to page 9. Ex-EFCC boss Farida Waziri sacked in national interest. Don't forget that there's been a back and forth between the former EFCC boss and former President Goodluck Jonathan on why she was actually sacked. The full story on page 9 of the Vanguard, and just below that story is page 8. Okay, we have education issues here, and JAMB. It's a 1.4 million candidates registered for UTME direct entry in 3 weeks. In just 3 weeks, 1.4 million candidates registered for UTME direct entry. Okay, that's how JAMB puts it this morning. And we go away from that to a reaction from yesterday's story. Don't forget, Northern Elders Forum passed a vote of no confidence on President Muhammadu Buhari on security matters. And someone, a very big wig from that group, Abubakar Sav, has distanced himself from the board of verdict on the federal government. Stories on page 13 of the Vanguard, and just by that story straight up to page 41, where we have rumble in army over pay disparity with Navy, Air Force. Think security matters there, and money issues. And finally we have on page 19, yes, ECOWAS challenges Nigeria's border closure, sets up committee. It's about time, they can't wait anymore. ECOWAS setting up a committee to look out for Nigerians' border closure. Okay, and that's how I have it on Vanguard this morning. Precious?
And on the Punch newspaper, we have major headlines: 87% Nigeria's poverty rate in North, says World Bank. Article blames insecurity, lack of education for endemic poverty. Northern Youth says land grabbing power without development. You can find that big story of the Punch on page 2. And we'll move on to other stories on the Punch newspaper, and we have community policing. IG meets Southeast governors Wednesday. Police begin screening. You can find that story also on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. And we have on page 29, federal government electricity workers meet to avert strike, and this is coming from some back and forth between the two parties as well. And you can find that story on page 29. And on page 13, 6 Southwest governors may sign Amotekun bill on Friday, and this is, Valentine is on Friday, so why they, but I think it's a feel of love, and that's the reason why they want to sign that. And on page 26, we have Boko Haram kills 30 travelers as military closes Maiduguri gate, and that's a really sad one. There are pictures of burned vehicles and displaced people showing on the Punch newspaper. And we have on page 4 and 5 of the Punch, we have Ilaro Poly SUG president caught during initiation, suspended, impeached. And lastly, on the Punch, we have Oyo suspends 13 head teachers, others over illegal fee. You can find that story on page 18 of the Punch newspaper.
Okay, is that how you have the on Punch?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm hoping to find more interesting stories on this day as well.
Okay, let's see how much interesting it can be on this day. And of course, major headline, just like the Vanguard, Buhari condemns attack as Boko Haram kills 30 in Borno. Says federal government determined to frustrate bid to hold Nigeria to ransom. And military, Maiduguri Damaturu Road now closes 4 p.m. Yes, that's a curfew announcement there. 4 p.m. is closing time for that road. Okay, and ASU open stock with federal government over 2009 packs. IPPIS blame state government for insecurity. Okay, and away from that, electronic payment transaction hits 151 trillion. We don't know in how many years, but that's that news there. And anxiety in Bayelsa, Supreme Court delivers judgment on governorship primaries. Okay, you look up for that one. And the ECOWAS story is also above the plate head of this morning. ECOWAS raises committee on closure of Nigerians' land borders. Yeah, that's all we have. And of course, Amotekun and the Valentine's gift. Okay, Amotekun law ready in Southwest State, February 14. That's this day. Okay, so we'll move straight up to Daily Trust.
Okay, on Daily Trust we have major headlines. Boko Haram fighters kill 30 stranded travelers in Borno. Mother, infants among victims, others abducted. All Boko Haram captives will be freed. Buhari. There are pictures as well of burned vehicles, and the governor also addressing people of that area. And it's really, really sad over there. And we have Southwest governors to sign Amotekun Bill Friday. This is Friday Valentine Day. And we have ECOWAS constitutes a committee on Nigeria's land border closure. You can find that story on page 15 of Daily Trust. And also we have farmer-herder conflict becoming scary in Nigeria. Others, you can find that story on page 6 of Daily Trust. And a very alarming one on Daily Trust we have on page 6. Don't rely on us for jobs. Federal government tells unemployed graduates. That is a serious one there.
Yeah, it is.
And on page 8 of Daily Trust we have workplace statute inquiry on JAM, theft funds, NDLEA. And lastly on Daily Trust we have we'll leverage technology to deepen non-interest banking, Touch Bank. You can find that story on page 18. I'm hoping the Nation has more stories for us too as well.
Let's see the Nation last newspaper this morning, and Southwest governors to sign Amotekun Bill Friday. Houses of Assembly begin legislative work. Fayemi outfit to protect all residents. Okay, all residents it is, wherever you are, as long as you're in the Southwest community. Be sure of being protected. And we have Akonde leads APC's panel on reconciliation. Edo government excited. Okay, and Lawan others mourn as senator dies at 75. Very sad one. Buhari raises hope for Lee Sharibu's release. Okay, work on Boko Haram on. That's it. And of course, we can't just complete this without taking that Boko Haram story there. 30 burns to death by Boko Haram in Borno State, and that's how they all captured it. Of course, that's how it has been on the newspaper review. We go to the next section where we have all of the analysis as we do it. Don't forget to join this conversation. Let us have a very wonderful time. Pick the topic of your interest. Let us talk Boko Haram. Let us talk insecurity in Southwest. Let us talk JAM and 1.4 million candidates in 3 weeks. Let us talk about Buhari and Le Sharibu. Of course, don't forget, we'll be back in a minute.
Hello Lagosians, my name is Aki Ambayomi. I'm the Commissioner of Health for Lagos. I'm here to tell you about this new infection that's going around the world. It's called the coronavirus. It emanated in China. It came from the animal kingdom. It has affected 17 countries. About 4,590 patients have been affected, with about 106 deaths to date. It has typical symptoms: headache, running nose, cough, sore throat, muscle ache, high fever, difficulty breathing, pneumonia perhaps. And if you feel that you are experiencing any of these symptoms and you've had a contact either by virtue of travel to Southeast Asia or people that have come from Southeast Asia, we would like you to present to one of our general hospitals. Here in Lagos, we're ramping up our capacity. Our general hospitals are getting more in tune with this situation. We're increasing our surveillance at the airports. We're building our emergency operations center where we can harmonize our response to this infection. Please, Lagosians, take this situation seriously and contact any of the numbers that we're going to display on the screen for you.
Yes, welcome back. My name is Victor Ogwinka, and of course, this is the analysis section, and I have with me Precious Chukwudi. Precious, I like to call you myself, don't worry. Okay.
I'm already waiting to do that.
Yeah, don't worry, of course. So let us go straight down to the discussion, and of course, if you're just joining us, you can join the conversation. It is newspaper review and analysis on Vanguard Live. We can get all of the reactions on our major top stories, as you can see on your screen. Okay, let us take some comments, then talk about those things all together. We have Oredola Shegun Oluwaloni saying, when are we going to hear something good in this country? You look at the newspapers everywhere, you see something that gives you worry, that gives you panic. Now Shegun is worried, asking when are we going to have good news in this country, Precious?
I don't know really, because the newspaper is filled with a lot of sad news. Like, we have the whole Boko Haram situation, and it's not a good one this morning.
Okay, let us take it off from Boko Haram angle. 30 killed, 18 vehicles, houses burnt in fresh Boko Haram attack. And what pains me more is when we start arguing on the numbers of deaths, as if one death is not money enough. Only 10, not 30 killed. That's what the theater commander, Operation Lafiadol, is saying. Just how big a blow this is for Nigerian security. Coming at a time where everybody is trying to. I think this also, stresses the need for regional securities, as some persons have been doing. Southwest have come with their own, Southeast saying they're bracing up. Somewhere in the north, they are going Shege, Kafasa, and all these things together.
And the South saying they want to start theirs. And
yeah.
The Ohanese Indigo saying that they are willing to do anything that they can do to ensure that they protect the lives and properties of people in that area too.
Okay, and look at that, the reactions and the riders. The Governor Zulum asked military to move checkpoints. Don't forget that a couple of weeks ago, Governor Zulum had an encounter, with some men of the military, on checkpoints and bribery on the road. So now he's saying they should move the checkpoints away. And the president, Muhammadu Buhari, has also reacted, saying, I'll continue to frustrate Boko Haram. I like the language, I'll continue to frustrate Boko Haram. And then it brings the question of how much,
how is the president going to go about it?
Yeah.
Because when he came into power, one of the things he was saying is that he's going to try as much as he can to curb terrorism in the country. And he also said that some of the children and women that were kidnapped as a result of this whole Boko Haram incident that happened yesterday, was going to ensure that they are freed and they are back with their parents and husbands as well. Of
course, that's the least any government should be doing to its citizenry. Okay, so we'll be hoping that those people reunite with their family in record time. And reps fault military on Aonogo carnage. Just last week we were talking about sacking of service chiefs. Then the next week we have a very big blow to their image. This is a very big dent, and of course it re-emphasizes or re-echoes why people are clamoring for the removal of service chiefs again, as you can see. Very, very sad one. That story is on page 5. You can still get it if you want. Okay, there are more comments here. Let's see. And Prince saying, he said, Buhari always condemn insurgency attacks whenever it pops up. That is what he thinks, that it is only when there's an attack. Maybe that's not entirely true though, but of course, we are talking about being more proactive. Don't wait for, and that is what he's talking about. So you don't have to be reactionary when there is a problem before the problem starts. This is a long time coming. We've had different time where the government says they've decimated Boko Haram. They said they've reduced them to nothing. They said their leaders have been killed, and all those things. But here is what this young man is saying here, that it is only when there's an attack that we hear that they condemn attack, they do this and they do that.
I think this is coming from, he might be making response to that based on the fact that, last week on the headlines we had one of the major headlines that was saying that the president is surprised at the rate of insecurity in the nation. And so it's like, okay, do you really have to wait for something to happen before you go there? But then that's his own opinion on
of course,
that matter.
it's his own opinion. Let us jump 3 days to Valentine's Day and see Amotekun in the mix. Amotekun bill becomes law February 14.
I call the Amotekun a gift of love.
A
because
gift.
Because it's happening on Valentine's Day. What other gifts would they be giving to the Southwest community?
Security is just more than flowers, really.
Yeah,
I will take a security gift over flowers, over
exactly,
chocolate.
because if you have your life, then you can definitely do whatever you want.
You can get the flower the next day and chocolate the next week.
So I think it's a good one for them to be, commissioning this outfit on that day.
Yeah. Good one there. And Amotekun bill, don't forget Amotekun, there's always been a lot of debates and controversies surrounding it, but now it looks like the fire is catching up and people are queuing into it on the regional level, and the federal government has also been very, very prompt in their reactions. They're talking about community policing. Eventually, these are some of the things that people have been talking about, have been pleading for, but right now Amotekun is here. Shege Kafasa, whether it's standing or not, the Southeast say they don't have a name for just yet, but they are coming up with something very soon. And of course the South also. So Precious, it is all in our face right now. It looks like it is every man for himself.
Everybody wants to protect their own people. I think it's just the fact that they want to assist the government. They're not longer leaving it to the government to protect our lives anymore. We're willing to do what it takes for us to, hold on as well and protect ourselves. Because, before it gets to the government, it will definitely happen to the people. So if they can work hand in hand and protect themselves, then we would curb a little bit of the insecurities happening in our state.
Yeah, well, hopefully, and we hope that the federal government will also see it as that. That's another thing. Okay, and more comments here. Musa Danland is saying only God will save the poor in this country. Only God will save the poor in this country. And something just resonated in my head. We have an army story here. Rumble in army, overpay disparity with Navy and Air Force. Precious, 30 killed, 18 vehicles, houses burnt in fresh Boko Haram attack. We're talking about the armies that are not enjoying a good welfare package, according to the headlines that we have here. And they are expected to go and decimate Boko Haram. How does that add up?
That's the thing. Just what you just said now just brings me back to the same headline that I read, and I think Daily Trust, where it was written, "Don't rely on us for jobs. Federal government tells unemployed graduates." So it's just this whole money issue and everything, even with the insecurity happening and the community policing, and they saying that they're not willing to they're not willing to recruit people who don't have jobs. They're willing to take people who already have jobs. So it's like, money seems to be one of the things that is bringing us down and, not helping our economy and also not helping our security issues as well. Okay,
well, if you're just joining us, it is still today in the news, Vanguard Live. It is the news and analysis section, and I have Precious Chukudi, cutting it and dissecting it in bits, okay? And my name is Victor Ogunyika. We enjoy these comments. They're coming fast and very, very good ones. We'll take as much as we can take. We'll talk about them as we go on, making this insightful analysis. Don't forget to like this page also on social media and bring interesting comments also on board. Okay, and don't forget to catch up with all the breaking news on our website, www.vanguardngr.com. We're sure to keep you, wanting more on that one. And away from that, let us go to Sir Philemon. Is a comment you can take. Let's see. He said, yes, because the federal government cannot employ 200 million people, probably the graduates, but the population is over 900 million people. So if you are blind enough to sit and wait for non-existing white-collar job, it is on your own fate. Interesting comments here saying the federal government cannot employ 200 billion people. I don't know where you got the figure of 900 million from anyway. But indeed, let us just focus on the message. The federal government may not be able to employ everybody.
Yeah, true.
Rightly so, yeah?
So, I think yesterday they had a meeting, and he said that some of the, when you look at other countries, you see that most of the youth are between 21 to 30. they have like more rich youths around the country, and also it was enduring like Nigerians and like Nigerian youths to step up their revolution in entrepreneurship. You have to make your own money by yourself. Stop focusing on white collar job. Look for the blue, green collar jobs as well. I don't know what colors. That color is
okay, whatever color is coming from, just try to give yourself, try to be responsible for yourself. That's what you're saying right here. Okay, and Majesty the Bush doctor is saying, Buhari, congratulations. On what exactly? I smell sarcasm somewhere. So let's just hang it there and go to Chibuike Chime saying Buhari will only condemn without any serious action. But the president has spoken, say that they would do everything possible to bring the kidnapped persons back, say that they would do everything possible to bring Gile Sharibu back. Talks are on the way and all those things.
As well as the people who were kidnapped yesterday, he made mention of that he will ensure that this time around he won't even have no mercy on, these insurgents.
Looks like Nigerians are getting tired of talking. They want to see the no mercy deal. Okay, and Prince Adewale, extreme poverty would be the best description because there is poverty everywhere in the country.
Sure.
Talking about 87% of the poverty story you mentioned there, the extreme poverty. Okay, good one. Thank you very much, Prince Adewale. Okay. Bimbal Tseme is a top fan and said, so this house Nigerians can continue to kill in the name of nobody is doing anything. Yeah, that's a question he's asking. And Samuel James is saying, President have said it again and again that Boko Haram have been defeated. Let them continue to lie to him. That's what I think. Do you honestly think that the president is being lied to about the real security status of Nigeria?
I basically think that it's just like when you have a manager of an organization and then the person is saying that he's not too sure what's going on.
What's going on?
Yes, like you can't tell your boss that you're not sure what's happening. So I think that the president himself can see things for himself, and that's the reason why he's saying what he's saying, that he will ensure that he combats insecurity. He will ensure that all the people who are responsible for causing cries and tears in the houses of people, he's going to ensure that he brings them to book. So we should take his words for it.
Okay, we do. You've advised us to take his word for it. Let's see. And Evangelist Amotosh is saying, those Boko Haram, are they ghosts? Why are governments always looking them to destroy Nigeria? Like, why is the government waiting for them to destroy Nigeria? Are they ghosts? That's rhetorical. I'll let you answer that. Okay, and the precious, let's just rush over some of all the other stories and before we take the back page and of course call it a day this morning. Cracks in NEF, that is the Northern Elders Forum. Before yesterday passed a vote of no confidence on the president, and then Abubakar Sahab has come to say that count me out of that bracket. I wasn't taken along, I wasn't carried along on that one. Whether it is Sahab or somebody else, they have passed the vote of no confidence on the president. The president had also reacted also, but you can find all that news on Vanguard website, www.vanguardnj.com for all the details. Do you have something for us before we flip back to sports?
Yes, and it's the story of the Ilaro Poly SUG president caught during initiation, and he was suspended and impeached. And this is coming from, he was elected in December 2019, and considering the fact that he was voted and everybody wanted him to win, only for residents to contact the vigilante group and also police men and notify them that some very, very skeptical duties was happening in the bush, and they caught them wearing their full regalia of a cult and black axe or something, and they were arrested, and they're asking the police to bring more of all these other people because these were the only people that were caught. So they believe that there are other people, and this was because they're trying to initiate other new members into that cult.
So that 2-month-old hero was caught in the act of crime that
and I think that he was celebrated and everybody was really excited at the fact that he's the new SUG president, and he had to give it to his second runner-up of year.
What a shame. Okay, but good one also. That's a good community policing there from the students, and that's it. Away from that, let's take some sports stories before we call it again. Chelsea record biggest profit from transfer windows. What does that even mean? They were not signing anybody and they made that money. Okay. Ronaldo furious as Juve drops more points. Yes, it is getting much more interesting. Inter Milan breathing very hard on their neck, and it is not business as usual for what Juventus has been enjoying from the Serie A league there. And Mane returns to training. Big news for Liverpool on that one. Oshola hungry for more trophies. Okay, the Barcelona striker just won one trophy. Copa del Rey female version 10-1. It was a very interesting victory. Okay, and now she's hungry for more. That is something with success. When it comes, you want much more of it. Okay, and the Tigers Tokyo Olympics falls March 21. Buhari congratulates them. Let's see how far they go on this one. And I'm still talking about Tokyo 2020. That's the Olympic Games. Diary raises hopes of medal all by Team Nigeria. It looks like the Minister of Sports is upbeat about some good performance there. So we'll see how it goes. And traditionally, we close this show looking at Mr. and Mrs. Yes, while I was about to wash your shirts, this love letter fell out of your pocket. I want a very good explanation, or else, of course, that's a woman's voice.
Exactly.
It's everywhere, and we have. But that's not fair. You didn't ask for an explanation when you found 10,000 naira in the pocket of the same shirt.
Well, Mrs. has said what she said.
Okay.
And Mr. has said what he said.
What he said, and we are going to say what we have to say, which is taking a bow on the show, and so we'll come your way again tomorrow, because this is very difficult to go that way or this way. So let's just leave them to do their things. Thank you very much for hanging out with us this morning on Today in the News and Analysis. Of course, been a very wonderful time with my colleague Precious Chukudi, and we hope that you keep it locked down for more shows coming all up today. And don't forget to catch up with all of the news on the website www.vanguardngr.com. We hope that you'll find it much more interesting than it was yesterday. Okay, it is bye-bye from us. And of course, we've been working with our crew from behind the scene. We have the Ubankole and Dozier, okay, calling all the shots. Bye-bye now.
Hello Lagosians, my name is Aki Ambayomi. I'm the Commissioner of Health for Lagos. I'm here to tell you about this new infection that's going around the world. It's called the coronavirus. It emanated in China. It came from the animal kingdom. It has affected 17 countries. About 4,590 patients have been affected, with about 106 deaths to date. It has typical symptoms: headache, running nose, cough, sore throat, muscle ache, high fever, difficulty breathing, pneumonia perhaps. And if you feel that you are experiencing any of these symptoms and you've had a contact either by virtue of travel to Southeast Asia or people that have come from Southeast Asia, we would like you to present to one of our general hospitals. Here in Lagos, we're ramping up our capacity. Our general hospitals are getting more in tune with this situation. We're increasing our surveillance at the airports. We're building our emergency operations center where we can harmonize our response to this infection. Please, Lagosians, take this situation seriously and contact any of the numbers that we're going to display on the screen for you.
This message